Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas with Sandy Turner from the Canton Junior League. I'm sorry, it is the Junior League of Stark County.
Correct.
And I'm sure that if other counties would be interested in joining, they would be welcoming you with open arms to do volunteer work in your area as well. We are joined now by Renee Skinner, who is the Woman of the Year President's Award recipient. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me, and thank you, Sandy.
So tell us a little bit about your thoughts, your reactions when they showed up at Fairless and handed you a bouquet of flowers and surprising you.
I was totally surprised. I didn't know I was nominated, and I'm usually on time for the meetings. Of course, I was a little late that day, and
That's
I walked
funny.
in, sat down, called my name, and it was a blur.
So funny.
I'm very honored, though.
But the President's Award, and again, as Sandy explained, done a lot of work in one area. So you're helping children with the Fairless local school system and have been for how long? What got you involved with it?
I started, we started Fairless Helping Fairless in 2011. And what gave me the idea was I worked in the school, in the preschool, and I worked there for 25 years. And you see these children coming in with coats that don't zip or no coats or holes in their shoes, no socks, things like that, not the correct supplies. And I go to Otterbein United Methodist Church, and we had a Sunday school study that was the World Changers. And at the end of our study, we picked an organization to help, and I asked if we could do something for the school. And that's how we kind of got started.
I love the idea and I love the name, Fairless Helping Fairless. So how did you start this up? That's not easy to start up something.
No, it did. It was. I think it was God sent. It was because it just flowed, and the reason I chose Fairless Helping Fairless is Patty Knotts is the head of Perry Helping Perry, and she's kind of been my mentor, and she has an organization like that, and. We started it, and I went to the school, and we just wanted a shelf to put some extra clothes on for the kids that come in that needed them. Well, before we even got that started, we ended up with a locker room that they weren't using, and it's full. And what we did, we couldn't have people coming in and out of the school, so we did it by referral, and we had minister referral and teacher referral for kids or families that needed. And then we had a lady that would call and say, we have extra things, could you use some? You know, we had to keep their pride, you know.
Yes. You somehow also have incorporated the children and teaching them volunteerism at the same time and just introducing them to the idea of giving back.
Right. We have, it was one of our third grade teachers, Mrs. Best, asked one time, and what we did is we gave each third grade classroom, and we've done it, I think this is the third year we've done it, we give each third grade classroom $100, and we tell the children, we give them a challenge to match it. And last year, I'm trying to remember, I think there was 4 classrooms, and they gave back. It was awesome. They gave us over $1,000.
Oh, my goodness.
And the parents came in. They had like a little restaurant one year, and then the next year they made crafts, and you go to each room and you can buy, and they open it to the parents and staff.
Neat.
And the kids were so proud to give us that money. And they know where the money goes. They know it's for Fairless Helping Fairless, and they know it's going to help their fellow students. Because in the closet, we also offer toiletries, cleaning products, and paper products, because people that are on help, they those are the items they can't buy.
Yeah.
So we stock that in there, and one of our main things was our back to school day. That started out as a picnic, a little family picnic our church did, and then it just blossomed into Fairless Helping Fairless. And last year we gave over 400 students got their backpacks, their school supplies,
Wow.
70 free haircuts, food, clothing, and everything's free.
These are the kinds of inspiring stories that you will hear at the Women of the Year Luncheon, which is, let's tell you, taking place Thursday, May 12th. It's going to be at Glenmore Country Club. And very reasonably costs $30, $35? How much?
$35.
$35.
But really, I mean, just listening to Renee and Natalie, that's why we're honoring them.
That's right.
We have been really lucky in finding fabulous volunteers that have gone above and beyond and are so passionate. You can tell from Renee and Natalie how passionate they are about volunteering. And that's what the Junior League has been striving to do, is to find women volunteers for 69 years that we want to showcase and say, hey, look at this. This is going to inspire you to volunteer because of their stories.
It truly does. You've also got some inspiring volunteers putting on this event, yourself included. Tell us a little bit about
and
that.
that's a cool thing, too, because the committees are all volunteers, and we are all sustainers of Junior League, which means that we have kept helping Junior League throughout the years after we were active members. And we have Nancy Bundy, Kathy Cowgill from Cowgill Florists. We have Teresa Golden McLennan, Bridget Harris, Maria Heggie, who is the CEO at United Way, Greater Stark County, Laura Kilkenny, Linda Sirac, Susan Sear, and Kathy Taylor. And then, Susie, you're actually helping us this year, so that's exciting.
It's been really fun. Tell us what the day is going to look like.
Well, we are excited because we are going to do a little bit different this year. We're actually having it at Glenmore, like you said, at 12:30. We have a gathering at 11:30, which is when you can come and you can congratulate the winners, give them a hug, and share your stories with them, sign the guest book. And then you will come in for lunch at Glenmore, and we are going to have a speaker this year, and it's going to be Robin Swoboda. And a lot of the sustainers actually really remember her, and she is really funny. I think she's really funny. So she's going to be great, and she's going to just motivate us and get us going and make us have a smile on our face. And then once she's done, then we actually will hear a little bit more about Natalie and Renee. And they will also hopefully talk a little bit about the things that they've talked about today, because it's great to hear their stories. And then they will receive a silver bowl, which is a tradition from us that we've had for many, many years. And their names will be engraved on the silver bowl and as a remembrance of being there. But we're excited if you want to come to join us. It is $35. It's a reasonable lunch cost. And you can acquire tickets on our website, which is the Junior League of Stark County.
Perfect. Sandy, when it comes to volunteering, you are no slouch yourself. We've asked Renee and we've asked Natalie. I'm going to throw it to you now. What is it about volunteering that you find so fulfilling?
Well, I, like Natalie, did not grow up in this area, and I actually, for the first month that I moved here 21 years ago, lived with Ann Senor, and she said to me, okay, it's kind of an unspoken rule in Canton that you volunteer with 2 organizations, so which ones are you going to pick? And so I started with a Pro Football Hall of Fame festival on the fashion show committee, and then Ann Senor and Jane Chirac were my sponsors at the time for Junior League. And I, like Natalie, just worked myself through that, and it's just been a joy to give back to the community. I, like Renee, like to really work with kids. That's kind of been my focus, to do things with children. And it's just been a joy to be able to give back.
And don't forget the hospital stuff. Then you move on to the hospital things as well. Yeah, there is a system, isn't there?
Well, it is the funniest thing, and we talked a little bit about that. Junior League does train you to be a very good volunteer, and if you do attend any function or a meeting where someone's in charge and they have a notebook in their hand with all of the information in the notebook, they've probably been trained by Junior League.
You can bet on it. Yeah, as soon as they start storyboarding out something, you know you
That's right.
in the presence of a Junior Leaguer. The two of you must have some really fun stories. What are some of your favorite memories, Renee, thinking back? And tell me about the kids that you've gotten to work with, and just some highlights of these years that you've been working, particularly with the Fairless Helping Fairless.
Yeah, it's fun to be. When I worked at the school, I just retired recently, and when I worked at the school, they would come down to class if someone needed something till we got it going and got it organized. And it was just awesome to see the kids' faces, like if we gave them a new pair of tennis shoes, how their face would just light up. And, they say, do I get to keep them? And, to give them a coat, and hats and gloves. It's wonderful because, and also one of the main things is the back to school day. I think we've gotten the most feedback on because the children start school. They get to come and pick out their backpack. They get to pick out their school supplies. They get their haircuts. And if they need clothes, they get those. And when they show up on that first day of school, they feel like they fit in. They don't feel, nobody knows that they got the stuff, from the back to school day.
Right.
But they get to start out with their supplies. They don't have to sit there and think, I don't have what I need.
And how important is that fresh start with a new haircut, new shoes, new backpack, all your supplies, to learning?
Oh, I can't even put it into words. It's so important because they don't have to worry about that. They're ready to go. That first day, they fit right in with everybody else. They sit down. They've got the equipment they need to learn, and they're just beaming. They're excited. They got new shoes. They got new outfits. They're ready to go. They're ready to learn.
Yeah.
And the teachers, with the feedback we've gotten from the staff has been awesome. What we do with the things that are left over, that we have extra, we put it in the workrooms. And if a new student comes or halfway through the year they need things, we supply those for them also.
That's wonderful.
And the teachers thank us so many times for the kids having their supplies.
So good. All right. Well, the event is the Junior League Women of the Year. Again, it's going to be Thursday, May 12th. Reception starting at 11:30. You get to meet these two amazing women. Sandy will probably make an appearance as well, I'm sure. Are you going to say a few words at the event? And
I have to do the welcome.
Okay,
yes.
You get welcomed by Sandy Turner. And then we're going to have a wonderful lunch and also just laugh with Robin Swoboda. Price is $35. Go to jlstarcounty.org, I believe, or Google Junior League of Stark County, and you'll be able to find all of the information there. Sandy, just want to turn back to you because I know that all volunteer organizations are struggling right now to find people who are able to do exactly what we're talking about today. This community really needs volunteers. I can remember something that Irma Bombeck wrote years and years ago. It was called So Long Volunteers, and I'm going to get all choked up about it. But what happens to a community if people stop doing what you're talking about doing? And so help me out
that
here.
Irma Bombeck quote, it's like if all the volunteers got on the boat and went away,
shipped away,
there would be no one left on the shore, right?
And who would help the schools, and who would help the hospitals, and who would help all these organizations?
Right.
So in our closing, a very short minute, I'm going to ask you to give an appeal for somebody listening thinking, you know what, maybe I'm a new retiree, maybe I've got sometime here on Saturdays or whatever. How important is it to volunteer, whether with the Junior League or whether with some other organization? How important is volunteerism to our community?
I think it's an easy thing to do, and I think it's very important. You just have to find your niche. Like you can see, with Renee, she loves kids, and with Natalie, she's done a lot around her kids, but then also has moved into things that are really women-related. I think anyone can volunteer, and one of the good places to go to is if you are a woman that wants to volunteer, you can get involved with the Junior League. Another area is to look in the newspaper or connect with United Way, because United Way actually does list volunteers that are in the community, and it's not just a United Way volunteer. Any of us that are in the nonprofit industry, we tell United Way, this is who we're looking for. So there's all kinds of roles out there for you. Just do it.
Well, just do it. Wonderful words to end on. Thank you so much, all of you, for all that you do for our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.